Good evening. Thank you so much for coming tonight, coming to the Katzen Art Center on the occasion of the opening of Anil Revri, Faith and Liberation Through Abstraction. Right. And we're going to have a discussion here with some very interesting people. We're going to talk about the show a little bit and some of the issues it raises. And I believe you're in for a treat. First, though, I'd like to introduce a very important person from the Embassy of India. You know, we've been doing a lot of international programming here, and I can tell you it takes a lot of people to make it happen. And in this case, we had the wonderful cooperation from the Embassy of India, and so I would just like to introduce to you, so he can say a few words, the Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of India, Ambassador Arun Singh. Please come up.
Let me just say that I'm delighted to be here as part of the celebration of the work of Anil Revri. I'm delighted on several counts. First, as a friend, and as a friend, I've observed closely his human and humane values, the values that he cherishes, which also find a reflection in his work. I'm delighted also to be supportive on behalf of the embassy of his work as an Indian American, because in his work, it is clear that his Indian experience, Indian sensitivities find reflection in several ways. And one of them, of course, is the basic and central tenet of Indian philosophy, that there is one truth, there are many paths to that truth, but each is as valid as the other. So we find in his work expressions from different religions, and the basic assertion that religion does not divide, religion can be a unifying force. And that and other messages that he brings to the context here in this society, I believe contributes to further deepening of understanding between India and the US. And ultimately, it is understanding at the level of societies that brings people closer together in a strong way. And last but not least, I'm delighted to be here to be supportive of the work of a noted artist. And it is said in the brochure that his work is an aid to meditation. The work itself is a product of meditation. And I recall that he was speaking at the embassy on 19th January, and he said that his work is broadly classified as abstract. And even though it is classified as such, looking at it, one finds a fairly highly advanced degree of precision. And looking at it closely, it draws you in and liberates you. And I feel it liberates you away all from the negative tendencies and the negative thoughts into a freer sharing and realization of experience. So within that framework, Anil, I wish you success, and I'm happy to be here on behalf of the embassy. And I also wanted to thank Jack Rasmussen of the Katzen Center for hosting this and for having us here, because we have also been expanding our cooperation with Katzen Center, and we are happy to host Jack in India for 10 days next month as a guest of the Government of India. And I hope he'll be able to see the work we are doing in India with museums and related areas. And we hope that that will enable us to expand further our cooperation in this sector. Thank you very much.
Let me just introduce the panelists. We have a distinguished group here this evening. And I think we have an order. I'm not sure what it is, though. I think maybe Jim Mahoney's going to go first. and that's a good thing. Jim's an artist, a curator, a critic, and a professor, and sometimes even a panelist. That's right. And Jim, it's great to have you here. You've done several things with the museum since we opened 7 years ago. And of course, on my far left is Anil Revri, who will be here to, I think, correct us, when we misinterpret or bring some further enlightenment to some of the points that are made. And of course, Donald Cuspit. It's a thrill to have Donald here. Great historian, critic, curator, professor. Did I leave anything out?
Good guy.
Good guy, raconteur. He's a professor of art history and philosophy at the State University of New York in Stony Brook.